If you're starting a t-shirt business using DTF prints but don't own a DTF printer yet, this video is for you. Today, I will show you how I measure my shirts, how I choose standard DTF design sizes, and how I lay out everything on a 1-meter gang sheet before sending it to my local print provider. So first, before I start layouting my DTF designs, I make sure to measure the shirts first. I have 3 shirt sizes here. The first thing I do is use a regular ruler to manually measure the width of the shirts and the printable area on the chest. This helps me visualize how big the design should look when worn on those specific shirt sizes. By measuring the printable area first, I can get a better idea of the proper design proportions before I even start layouting digitally. Then next, when it comes to placing the actual design print on the shirt, I make sure to use a t-shirt ruler. What I'm using is this one right here, which I bought online. This really helps, especially for DTF placement, because it helps you determine how far the design should be from the neckline of the shirt and keeps the placement more consistent. What I like about this ruler is that it already has guides for infant, toddler, youth, and adult, which makes placement much easier, especially when working with different shirt sizes. For the design itself, I also search for standard DTF sizing guides online that are commonly used by shirt businesses and print providers, so my prints would look balanced on different shirt sizes. I leave the link in the description box in case you also want to use it as reference. So now that I'm done measuring the shirts, I move on to the designs. I already have some ready-made designs here, so what I'm going to do is just lay out them. So for layouting, I use Canva. I create a custom project first, and since my DTF print provider offers a 22 by 39 inches DTF sheet, I also make sure to set the canvas size to 22 by 39 inches. After that, I change the background color first so I can clearly see my designs while arranging them. Then I upload my designs. So as you can see here, this design is originally around 8 inches in width. But since I know there might be slight differences in actual printed size, especially when you're just starting out, I make sure to add a copy for little allowance. Instead of exactly 8, I make the second one around 8.3 and the third 8.7 inches wide. Sometimes I just add around 0.2 or 0.3 allowance, but honestly, it still depends on you and your preferences. For me, this step is important, especially if you're still testing your sizing because you still don't fully know how the actual print will look once transferred onto the shirt. You can always adjust your final sizing later on after receiving your first DTF prints. And that's honestly what I did when I was starting. After that, I just repeat the same process with the rest of my designs until everything is arranged properly on the sheet. Then once I'm done, I'll just click save. Thankfully, my DTF print provider has no problem with Canva links. So what I usually do is just send them the Canva project link directly. They also allow PNG files, which I've also tried before, but when sending PNGs, I make sure that the background is really transparent. But right now, since I no longer have Canva Pro, I just send the Canva link instead so there won't be any problems with exporting transparent backgrounds. And after that, I simply send it to them for printing. Then, once I receive the DTF prints, I make sure to test them again on the shirt and decide which sizes from the 3 I want to keep as my standard sizing moving forward. If you're also thinking about how to price your DTF products, I made a DTF pricing calculator that you can use for your own business. I'll leave the Google Sheets link in the description box so you can also use it for your own pricing. Just make sure to create your own copy first before editing anything. You can simply go to File, then click Make a Copy so you can fully customize it based on your own pricing and materials. So yeah, that's basically how I measure my shirts, choose my DTF design sizes, and lay out my gang sheets before sending them to my local print provider. Honestly, you don't really need to own expensive DTF machines right away to start a shirt business. Sometimes you just need the right process, proper sizing, and a good print provider to help you get started. And over time, Once you receive your actual prints, you will slowly discover the sizing that works best for your brand and shirt styles. I hope this video helps, especially for beginners who are still confused about DTF sizing and layouting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!